Pit piles of gunning. What I don't know. Hitting Orks. Eating cookies. Seeing how much shit we've managed to break with a new microphone. Me. Fucking about the new camera angle tonight as well. You can see the cameras now here. Giving a more top-down, risky eye view. Oh. Okay. So, been a bit of a frantic evening. Finished work, popped out food shopping. I went to Costco, did more food shopping. Came home, the wife put some tea while I messed on with some bits and pieces. Hello, Mrs. Bummerpants. How's it going? How we're sounding? We should be sounding crisp and clear as a motherfucker. Tonight, once again, we're powered by the almighty pepper and some Costco cookies. You sound far away. That's no good. Is that better? Now that I'm a bit closer. It's all gone to shit. How's that? Is that better? Hello, 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 hello. Sounded okay when I did my recording. Sound quite far away. Still. Music too loud. How's that for music? Music's not changed volume at all. What about that? Did that drop the music? Oh. That made it louder. Okay. So that dropped it down some. Okay. It's weird because I've got this slider here that should drop the stream output for the music, and it just doesn't seem to be. Is that killed all the music now? Yeah, the music's off. Okay. So I set that to that. How does that sound now? Music. Music, music, music. Music's still off. Music back now. Okay. What about me? How do I sound? Still quiet. Okay. How about that? Is that better? Do I need to be louder? How about that? How about that? Is that okay, yeah? What about the quality? Am I breaking up? Do I sound fucking blown out, muddy? Like, it's no good of me being loud if I'm not intelligible, I guess. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we'll see what it's like when I watch the recording back. Bizarrely, like this mixer thing that I've got, it's supposed to allow us to like drop things like the volume of the music. Like I said, it could be you. Well, if you've got your volume turned right down on your phone, like, I guess this is the thing, like, you know, if you've got your volume set to 1, then, yeah, of course it's going to be low, but no, okay, fair enough. Right. Okay, well, we'll just go with this, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Can you hear things like, I'll watch the stream back on my phone with you. Okay. Can you hear like mouse clicks or like keyboard sounds, I guess? Okay. Well, which is it? Is it yes or no? And when you vape, right, that's no good. What about now? No, I just want it sorted. Like, that's the whole point, right? louder on mine. Okay. What I might do is... Testing, 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 testing. How does that sound for my voice now? Is that better? Like, lots better. Like, is it a good volume and you can hear everything I'm saying nice and clearly? It's not echoey, it's not tinny, or anything like that, no? Good volume, good clear. Okay, can you hear everyone a bit? Oh, okay. That's sorted. Good, bro. Okay. Getting somewhere. I think I just had the wrong source selected in OBS. But that's odd. The weird thing is I should be able to drop this down to 0 now on my slide up and music. And it should have nothing coming through for the stream. So is that music still playing? I guess is my next question. Music's playing. And the volume hasn't changed, no? Sounds a smidge quieter than before. There should be nothing because I've set the volume to 0. Hey, Royal Tuscan, thanks for popping in. We're just diagnosing some new microphone and software issues at the moment. We've not started any painting yet, but welcome on in. Hope I sound nice and clear for you. Okay. Does that kill the music off? Doesn't look like it, has it? Music's banging. Better. Ah, well, I mean, you know, music's playing. Okay. Just dropping it ever so slightly. Alright, I mean, this is fine. Like, we can control the music somewhere else. Let's just pop this back to music. Volume's fine. That's the main thing. I can control the sound of the music through the thing. I guess the main thing is that it's good. That was okay. I'm gonna have to speak to someone who uses this software and see how they've got it set up. But anyway, as long as my voice is nice and clear, that's the main thing. The other thing we're gonna have to be conscious of tonight: wings, curly fries, and cheesy fries. Fucking let's go! Yeah, boy, we had. We get our dinners from our teas, our evening meals from HelloFresh. So we had cheeseburgers tonight with wedges and a slaw. Right. So what's happened since the last time we streamed? Quite a bit. Put some pictures in the Discord, obviously. But what we did was we went through and we blacked out like all of the Ork. So we can see all the different bits that, you know, like on skin. So that'll be cloth, metals, details, all of that jazz. It's not perfect because it doesn't need to be, but we've done that on every single Ork, and we've been back through and put some like kind of extreme highlights on like all the skin. To really make a pop. I really like how this green's turned out. So the plan for this evening is to kind of crack on with some metallics and get all the base coats down for the metallics. Get it washed, re-highlighted, and hopefully we might be able to start getting some like some spot colours into it as well. Had a bit play about with the camera angle a bit, so we've gone for a little bit more of a kind of like a top-down view from where we were before, just so that the camera's not quite in the way, and actually when I'm painting you can kind of see a little bit easier what's going on. So what we're going to start with is going to get some little mixing trays out. Don't really need the wet palette for all that. What was that HelloFresh burgers you mentioned? Yeah, they were really tasty. Like I said, like Bumper says, there was so much garlic. The other thing that I tested before I came live was to make sure that all of the alerts work, so they should all be fine. I think the only ones that I think might not work are the ones for the channel point redemptions, maybe. But if someone could test the shout at risky one for me, that would be swell.
Frames, 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 frames.
Brilliant. That played for me. Did it play for you? In fairness, it was actually Bumba's poor trolley packing because you've got like a stack of bin bags stacked. So when we were wheeling the trolley back, they just kind of fell off. And landed and smushed them. Did the frames sounds play for everyone? Did everyone hear it? Cloth. Yes, brilliant, thank you. That should mean that all of those should work, including the changing the station ones, which is great. We're just going to have to hope that we get a follower or a resub, or someone buys some merchandise, or something like that for the rest of them. I don't know why I'm getting this without painting unlock. Resolve that. No. Right, a minute. No, like I say, it was a trolley packing techers that let her down, really. Roll of bin bags just went careening straight into it. What are you working on tonight, Tuscan? Did you say you were painting some Adme? Yes, sorry, was on a typing ban while smashing those doings in. Yeah, no, that's total fine. Last thing you want to do is be getting like wing sauce all over your keyboard. The ones that you post in the Discord looking really fucking cool though, man. Barbecue honey. Leave that pit wall alone. I press redeem, hydrate, and it's not working. Ooh. The sound alert didn't play. God damn. Yeah, like I can see the sound alert. What the thing played? It's not the sound. Have a look. This is out tonight, and she doesn't like on the bone food, so it's rare that I can just order wings. Fair. What's going on with these sound alerts? This is the stream where everything breaks. Long story short, we upgraded our mic to a Gato Wave 3, and we're using the like wave plugin.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
So what's up here?
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
There we go. For some reason, that alert required me to approve it. I'm not quite sure why. Let's have a look, see. I didn't get your live notification. Currently watching Total War 3 to get ideas somewhat lurking. Oh, that's cool, man. I really appreciate you popping in. I know Twitch can be a bit funky sometimes with go live notifications, but that's okay. Got it on Discord. Ooh. Your wings. Yeah, got on Discord. Yeah, sometimes the like Twitch one goes doesn't go through. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on with the sound alerts there. For some reason it asked me to approve that sound alert, so who knows. But anyway, watch some Dr. Pepper in for you. And a stretch from Royal Tuscan as well while we're at it. Big stretch. That stretch. Oh. Ah, dear me. It's the stream where everything breaks. In good times. Okay, so what we got left to pay? Yeah, let's do this in silver. Excuse me. Honestly, the curly fries are what I was most excited about. Yeah, curly fries are fucking banging, man. You got somewhere local that does like really good wings, curly fries and stuff. I tried someone new and they were decent, to be fair. I've been trying to resubscribe for the past 20 minutes. I hate you, Twitch. Just close your internet browser or your app and then try again. I feel like it might not just be me that's broken tonight, because my my camera is stuttering as well, like a motherfucker. Might just be Friday nights on Twitch. Might just be a little bit fucky. Yeah, do this one as well. I've got these little rings in here to get. Grab them. What's everybody got planned for their weekend then? My weekend's going to be largely orc flavoured as we continue to smash through this commission. Anybody else got anything cool planned? Well, I guess the opposite. Is anybody just doing like fucking nothing with their weekend and just going to thoroughly enjoy that? Tattoo gets finished tomorrow and some Dead Space. Nice. Got a street festival tomorrow and then fishing on Monday. Nice. Are you big into your fishing? Always liked the idea of it. There's not really anywhere near me to go fishing. I don't think I'd have the patience for it. I think that's all the silver done on this guy. We're not going to do anything other than silvers for the moment. Just try and keep this a bit hydrated. Let's do tank busters first, I think. I lure fish, not bait, so it's more active. Ah, cool. It's still not working, but I will try again over the weekend. Bloody rude, I want my Charlie emo. Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be working. Are you getting like an error message or something, or is it like prompting you to do the whole like resub thing? For the uninitiated Tuscan, what is the difference between lure fishing, not bait fishing? Telling me I'm not eligible. How bizarre. Yeah, just an error message saying try again later. That's bizarre. So bait is thrown out and left, while lure it's a plastic you throw out and try to give it life to imitate fish that's all hit it. You constantly cast them to you. To be honest, I do bait with one rod and lure with my other rod sometimes. But we're going wading, so I can't do this time. Fucking cool, man. Catch some fish at Chef Chef in Discord, absolutely. Post a pic in general of some of your lures. I honestly am not hopeful the fish should still be deep in water, but maybe wants to go so heck it. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Like, the day out, innit, at the end of the day, so...
Another soul claimed.
Okay, so that worked. That was just me testing it on my phone. That's not a new follower. Did the follower sound play for you all though? Packed your pants there, yeah. Glad it works. Yeah, bizarrely, like it's not giving me. Really chucked my hair dryer. Unlike the web app, it's not giving me the option to like subscribe either, so fuck knows. Fuck knows. What's the taking my associate status off me or something daft like that?
Oh, Pyronius, that is a huge thank you, especially with the changes coming into the
Royal Tuscan 93 gifted a tier 1 sub to Cardinal Blue.
Thank you very much, Tuscan. So that works. Yeah. Thank you very much, so Tuscan. Really appreciate that, man. Right, let's do some pen. And yet when I try to give to Kelu, it won't let you. I think it might be Twitch's resub thing might be broken. That usually happens if they've got an existing sub already. Maybe the dates aren't just quite lined up. Wonder. But thank you for that. I really appreciate it, man. You've ever had a pet night when my dog keeps climbing the table for attention? Too cute. I'm sure I've already asked you, or if you've mentioned dog before, what breed of dog have you got? Have I asked you that before? If I have, I apologise. I've got a memory like a sieve for some things. But I used to be a veterinary nurse, or, well, like a student veterinary nurse. So I love all animals. Cats especially, but dogs too. Working Cocker Spaniel, that's right, I have asked you before. I remember now. Sighthounds are my favourite dog breeds, as are Staffordshire Bull Terriers. I had greyhounds, like a lot of greyhounds when I was growing up. And my mum and dad still have greyhounds. I have 2 greyhounds currently. We're a cat household here in the Risky Pants family. Oh, Andre coming in with a wah! You can see her in Discord being helpful. let's have a deeks. Ooh, them lures are cool as well. Like them. Class. Look at that man. Just being cute as fuck. It's great. Stream on the background, love to see it. I have to say we wouldn't get any cats. You said that we weren't getting cats. I said we're getting cats. New emote? No new emote. Same emotes as before. How's it going, Unreal lad? Hope you're doing a bit better. I've got this little rangefinder dealy to do. That was my giant head getting in the way there. Loaded with colds, I haven't been able to go down to the hospital. That sucks, man. Yeah, like I know quite a few people that are still picking up like sniffles and colds. Like I've been a bit sniffly again today. It's no good.
Another soul claimed.
Fucking shit me pants again. Blockbin coming in with a follow. Thank you very much, my dude. Hope you're well. I need to turn that alert down. If I don't do it now, because I fucking cack me pants every time. Oh, dear me. Settings, follower alert. Let's just pop that down to about 70%. Just do that little test.
Another soul claimed.
Okay. I'm sure. I've discovered today that Beecham's have changed the recipe. That's my stuff, yeah, mate. Turning it down might be wise. Otherwise, you might have a Bob Ross moment. Yeah, for definitely sure. Again, with the sound alerts. Yeah. Horrifying, isn't it? Maybe we need to find a new follow alert. If anyone has any suggestions for something that's a bit less hand-wettingly terrifying. But thank you very much, Blockbin. Welcome on in to the stream. Everyone's super friendly here. We're all painting pals. If you're into your model building and miniature painting, let me know, and let me know what you're working on, or if you're doing anything cool and interesting at the moment. We do have a Discord that we're growing the community on there too. Still quite a small one, but again, everyone on there's sound as a pound. People share all sorts of different hobbies on there. Or if you're just here to lurk in the background, then that's totally cool too. At the moment, we're just working on a commission to paint some Ork, which has been going quite well so far. Something from Garth Marenghi, yeah, maybe. We're working through just doing all the silver parts on them at the moment. And we'll go back through and do all the like brassy, bronzy, coppery bits that we want to do. And then kind of go from there, I guess. The only peril I tend to find with these tank butters is because they're fine cast. You just find like random bits of flash that I've missed off when I was cleaning it up. That looked like it was part of the model, but now that I'm painting it, it clearly isn't. Which is great. Ah. Another bit that I've missed. How do we think the new microphone's sounding then? To be fair with Orks, would it have been out? No, you're right, yeah, it probably wouldn't have been out of place. It's just that, and you know what, if they were mine, I probably would have just kept it kind of as is. But because it's commissions, we want to do the best we can do so we keep getting the commission work through. Yes, so we've recently upgraded to the Elgato Wave 3 mic, and we're using the Wavelink software to kind of control everything. So good to get some feedback on how we're sounding compared to other streams. Even if that feedback is, Elliot, you sound exactly the same and you've wasted all of your money, that would be good to know. You're putting any yellow on the boss and stuff? Yes, so the idea will be that I'm going to do all of the metal, the same way that I did the truck. So I'm going to do all the metal, weather it, distress it, the whole kit and caboodle. And then on the little like scrap plates, I'll be doing little spots of colour mixed in with like gold for like the bosses and stuff like that, and the flash kits especially. That's the plan. What we want to try and do as well though is because it's a commission, we need to sort of meter the amount of time that we spend on these things. So we don't want to spend loads of time, because we want them to look good, but it's also got to be reflective of what we're being paid, I guess, at the end of the day. But a big part of me as well just wants to do, like, paint them as best I can, because they're cool as shit. So we'll see how much kind of detail we go into. But that is the plan. We're going to put some we'll probably put some yellows in and some reds in, like some pretty just bog standard kind of orc colours. Young Ray, the mic sounds good, mate. Good shit. Had a bit of a technical hitch, as is tradition with this stream, at the start, where it the wrong input had been selected. But we're fine now. Cooking on gas. I think I just need to watch some YouTube videos for the rest of the setup in like OBS and stuff for the stream output, but we'll get there. We only got it yesterday, so we did the initial setup yesterday, and I spent about 2 hours messing on with like different like equalizer settings.
Soul claim.
Adepto coming in with a follow. Thank you very much. Didn't quite shit myself as bad as I did the other ones, but welcome on in, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're keeping well and you're up to something fun on this Friday evening. If you're working on anything at the moment, got any projects on the boil, please feel free to share. We're working on a fairly sizable commission at the moment for a client who sent me a whole bunch of really cool orc units. So we're just kind of cracking on with them at the moment. If I buy that Isaac Clarke model from Etsy, will you teach me how to paint it? Yes, I will. Still shoot yourself, probably because you're on Dead Space. Share the Discord link. Has that orc got tank treads for back armor? Yes, it does, yeah. So they'll be like Rhino or Predator tank treads, and this is the smoke launcher as well from the Space Marine vehicle sprue at the top there. So the unit I'm pinning at the moment are tank busters with an A. So they're orcs with like big rocket guns, and this dude's got like a rocket on a stick he's using to whack people. Depth's asking, is it the new Dead Space? That orc got a rocket in a gun. Yes, yeah, they're all carrying big rocket guns and mad shit like that. The plan is all of the like rockets and stuff I'm going to do in like a brass color to help them pop out a little bit. That's the plan, at least anyway. We'll see how it turns out. This is the first like Games Workshop kits that I've painted in a long time. And I like just genuinely forgotten just how much extra detail that they like pack into every bit. There's like a commissar cap here. Obviously, he's wearing looks like a commissar cloak over the top. It's just crazy, like all the extra detail that they slap on them. Come up onto a second playthrough of Dead Space now. Have you increased the difficulty any, or are you still playing on easy? Still playing on easy. But... Also working on your plasma gun only plate. Got no idea what that is. Obviously, I can gather that it's just using the plasma gun, and I'm assuming that makes it incrementally more difficult to achieve. But is it like a? Is that like a big challenge to do? Yeah, because some guns are better for bosses and stuff. Okay, fine. So much metal on these things, man. Jesus. Never end. Right, that's the knob done. These ones should be a little bit easier to do. Try and work out what we've got here. But my pulse gun's fully upgraded, so it's proper picture, and the suit's also fully upgraded as well. God, excuse me. A bit witchery sounding this, isn't it? Ooh. A bit laggy there on stream. bu- 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 Put a bomb on a stick for 100% fatality. It's definitely like the most orky way to blow up a tank, alright? Or like a Terminator or something like that. Just get some absolute orc that's off his biscuit. Give him a big stick with a rocket attached to it. And be like, yeah, Trev. All orcs are called Trev. Just go and pure knock that Terminator or that Dreadnought with this stick. Shape bag if you done it. And that's oh, like the Super Mutants of Fallout 4. Yeah, exactly. Aye. Ooh, what's my favourite orc? That's a fucking question. 40k orc. I think it might have to be. I forget the name of it now. I don't play a lot of 40k anymore, so I'm really out of touch with a lot of the new stuff. But is it the Big Mech with the custom teleporter that has like the big Hoover that's sucking up the grot, and it like fires grots into things? Is that what that's called? I have to find it now. That might be my all-time favorite orc model. Xenosaurus. I do like Zodgod Wartsnagger, the new character model. He looks like he's just woken up from like 1,000-year nap. That's the Big Mech with a custom forced. Pretty sure it is Big Mech with a custom teleporter. Shock attack gun, that's it. Big Mech with a shock attack gun. Might be my all-time favourite. Let's see if we can make a... yeah, this guy. This guy might be my all-time favourite orc. Just the concept of it, I think, is amazing. Show. It's got like a big Hoover that like sucks up little goblins and then like fires them into shit. I think the concept of it's just mad. Woo, lad. Yeah, that's my all-time favourite 40k orc model. What about yourself, Adepto? Adept So even? I'll butcher your name there. I've got in the Ghostbuster of Orks. Yeah, that's really apt. Yeah, I like him. I'm also a big fan of like the Killer Cans and the Death Reds as well. I think they look like cool as shit. need to get some killer cans. Yeah, I like so like obviously these are, like I said, these orcs are these are for commission. These aren't mine. And when I used to be really into 40k, I had quite a few armies, and the one that I never really ever got around to doing, that I kind of wish that I always did, was orcs, just because they're mental. And I was chatting to someone, I think on another stream the other day there, who like had a really good point, which is everyone's second favorite army is orcs, whether they whether they realize it or not. Which I thought was just a class way of looking at it. So I recently looked at, I say recently, it was about 2 years ago, doing an orc army for 40k in the kind of Killer Can Death Dread list. Sort of like caught my eye. I like the Weird Boy model as well. And that's a great model for orc. Are you an orc like player collector yourself? Kind of presumed that you would be if you're after some killer cans. What's the music? So we use a program called Pretzel for our stream music, which is just basically like it's a collection of music that's allowed for things like Twitch and YouTube. But it works a lot like Spotify. So we're listening to the metal station at the moment, and this song's called "End of a Traitor" by a band called Intensifier. I'm still trying to work out a way to have like a little thing on the stream that shows what kind of what's playing. I'm sure there's a command for it somewhere. I'm just never getting around to sorting it out. And if this music's not to your liking, we have like a channel point reward thing that you can use. You can click on the little paintbrush below, and there should be 4 options to change the different stations with like a text box to type in kind of what you want to listen to. That just gets turned over automatically for you. Do you have some Halo stuff? Yeah, little few bits. Recently painted up Halo Elite bust, which I'll grab out of the cabinet. This is the Elite bust that we painted a little while ago on stream. This is one of the things I painted when I very first got back into streaming last year. A little blown out because of the lights. This was a bust that was released as like a limited edition when they released the Halo Fleet Battle game and the Halo Ground Assault game. We've also got like a huge UNSC Marine here as well, which is I made a start on. That's heads on a cork here, which we're going to do up to be like the ones from the very first Halo game. And I do have some Halo Fleet Battle stuff actually in a box over there in the pile of shame, which if you've ever played games like Battlefleet Gothic or maybe something like Star Wars X-Wing or Star Wars Armada, you know, any of those like sort of naval combat games, whether it's in space or at sea, it plays like that, but it's with Halo ships and Covenant ships. So we've got like the 2-player starter box for that, which has some of the big like UNSC frigates, the ones that are kind of like the size of the Pillar of Autumn, and maybe it's a bigger one than that. And then the Covenant have got the like teardrop shaped ships that you see, that like in the like orbits around planets, as well as some of the bigger ships. And I've got like the huge capital class ship. It's probably about a foot to a foot and a half long. It's fucking ginormous, like the big like world destroying capital ship, which is fucking class as well. So maybe we'll do some of them on stream at some point. But we had loads of fun painting that bust on stream. When I'm not doing commissions,
Another soul claim.
fucking shit myself again. Savage Kai coming in with a follow, making a shit myself again. We're gonna have to change that alert, as cool as it is, 'cause every time it plays, fucking cack me pants. But thanks very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Hope you're keeping well. Your Friday evening's going great. If you're into your model building and miniature painting in whatever form that is, feel free to let us know in the chat what it is you're up to, what you're working on, your favourite army, anything like that. We love to hear about it. Also taking recommendations or suggestions for a new follow sound. Yeah, that's like 4 times tonight that I've absolutely cacked my pants. So yeah. We're working on some 40k Orks tonight for a commission. So we've got 5 tank busters, which I've just finished doing all the metals for. We've got 5 burner boys, 5 flash kits, a orc boss thing with the claw from the starter set a few years ago. We've got an orc truck that we've just about finished doing, which we did about a week ago on stream, and an orc pain boy as well, which we finished, which I painted entirely off stream because I couldn't sleep. So I'll grab them out actually, because we've got a few new people in. Let's show them off. So this is the pain boy that we painted. This is hopefully what those everything else we're painting will kind of end up looking like in the end. Went with a nice bright sort of toxic green orc skin. And a nice kind of muted drab little grot on the back there. We'll zoom out a touch for the truck. You can see it. This is the truck that we painted. It's all chipped and weathered and minging and rusty looking. With some nice bright yellow armor panels. We've got like the orc driver to do. We've got the gunner on a piece of cork here to work on as well. The back's all like rusted and covered in mud and all that kind of grim stuff. That's the underside of it. So always got to paint the underside. So yeah, that's what we're working on at the moment. If anybody has anything that they'd like to show off, we do have a channel point reward thing. It's like 10 channel points, so pretty much everyone can do it straight off the rip, which just lets you put a link into your Instagram, Imgur website, wherever it is that you keep your pictures, and you can show off the things that you work on. If you want me to show them off on stream, that can do as well. I didn't know you have a hello there sound. Yes, I do. Yes, that's a one that you can use with bits. I think that used to be my follow sound, but it was a little bit quiet, so I missed it, which is why we changed it to the one that makes me shit myself every time it plays. So it was either too quiet and I missed it, or I cack myself every time it plays. I've yet to find like a nice little common middle ground. So, you know, that's where we're at. I'm a big Star Wars fan as well. So we've got quite a lot of Star Wars miniatures as well. We've got both of the starter sets that they released. So it's Rebels and Imperials, and then Droids and Clone Troopers. So Droids is the army that I do. The Clone Troopers are just been kind of sat there waiting to either find a home or to get sold on. And then I've got some Rebels, and I've been given some Rebels from a friend as well with the Imperia. How about the Nokia brick sound? What's the Nokia brick sound? If you're in the Discord, feel free to pop it in one of the channels there. I'll check it out after stream. Okay, so for this. Is that just the Nokia ringtone? Or they're like diddly dee diddly dee diddly dee dee. That one. I'm gonna shit myself as well, to be honest. I mean, I could probably just turn like my overall volume down on my headphones. That could work as well. Just so it's not as fucking loud. Do all this silver, and we'll do these like spiky plates and the brass pillar, I think. And all like little detaily bits. When I say Nokia brick, I mean the older one. Ah, okay, fair enough. I might be old enough to have owned one of those Nokia brick phones at one point in my life, which is upsetting to think about. I feel like that's going to be like this is Bumper Pants coming in with a chair. Tongue's too big for my head. With a station change. Woo lad. So I take it that alert played and was very loud also. Change music and cackle patterns. What I'm getting is that we need to just lower the we just need to lower the volume of the alerts. That's fine. Right. I need to do a very quick adjustment here. Because the new camera setup means that I couldn't plug my camera in. We're just gonna quick little move there. Should hopefully plug our in. Hope if I yeah, boom squigs. Yeah, you can see them there on the pallet there, can you? The little bomb squigs. Do you hit the models or did you just hit them in the game? Because the models are class. Right. Look there. 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 Oh, that might actually work out better. Who'd have thunk? Would you? Yes. Neither. This is a boom squig bumper. They're like little dogs that have bombs attached to them that run off into enemy tanks and blow. Oh, they look like the dogs from Abe's Oddworld. Yeah, they do a little bit, don't they? Man, I love lo-fi. So do I, yeah. Were you not asked to type something in the box when you selected that bomber? That keeps losing what it's supposed to do as well. I minded my own business killing orcs, then a bomb squid comes up, I lose my health and I get overwhelmed with orcs. Yeah, fair. Yeah, I asked for lo-fi. Oh, yes, of course. It just looked like you typed lo-fi after you redeemed it. It was just me being a dingus. Back to put silver on that one done. Oh. Nearly 2 hours in and we've put silver on 7 models. It's just going slow. That being said, we did lose about half an hour at the start of the stream there, just trying to sort out sound issues and stuff. Better than me. I've been going an hour maybe and I've detailed one model. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's what I always say. Just want to test something here.
Hydrant, you bastard! Hydrant!
There we go. I think I fixed the issue that I had earlier on. Having to manually approve stuff. So that's sorted now. Smash some Dr. Pepper in. What model have you detailed? What is it you've been working on? Fuel time. Ooh, in Discord. Cool, I'll go check that out in a sec. Everybody else wants to go check out Royal Tuscan's work in progress? Head over to the Paint and Pals Discord. !Discord for the link if you're not already part of it. Quite a small community that we've got there at the moment, but we're trying to grow it out alongside our Twitch and other bits and pieces. Everyone in there's proper lush, dead canny, top shelf Paint and Pal. Get yourself in. Lush to see some more people in there sharing what they're working on. Brightens my day up when I'm having a shit day at work and I check in on it at like a lunchtime or on a break or something, and the people have like put that stuff on. Right there. Just, I like Bomb Squids and 40k, just not Space Marine. Oh yeah, in Space Marine they're fucking rancid. Such a fucking good game, Space Marine. I picked it up on Steam during the lockdown when I was furloughed, and I was playing it for like the second and third time, having originally played it on the Xbox 360. What a game, man. So good. I've been quite into the multiplayer for that game back on 360. Had a cool multiplayer mode as well. I mostly just like the like skin designer that you could make, and you could make your own chapters or Chaos Marines and stuff like that. I thought it was well cool. When that game came out, the Space Marine army I had at the time, I did the Eagle Warriors chapter, which is like a half and half, got like Ultramarines blue and white colour scheme, so I made them on Space Marine game. And I think I always just used like the Death Guard scheme for the Chaos Marines on that game as well. Leather, but that's fine. Get this in. Might have exhausted our palette of silver for now, but that's fine. It's out. Did you mention before that you've been playing Warhammer Total War 3 as well, Adepto? Was that you? Or was that somebody else? Played it a few years ago, picked it up again halfway through the last chapter when I put it down, so I'm replaying the game. Yeah, that's fair. No, it wasn't you talking about Modern Warfare. Total War. Yeah, must have been somebody else. I was just going to ask how you're finding it, because I picked up Total War 3 on launch, because I was super excited because Ogres were in it for the first time, the playable race, and I've just found the game overall really disappointing. So I just want to know how it was these days. I've not gone back to it since. If you had played it, obviously get confused with somebody else. Part of me's thinking I should have done all the metals on these first and like dry brushed them and done them all manky before starting with the skin. But wait, this far now, we kind of go back. No doubt if I'd done it that way, I would probably just complain and said I should have done the skin first. Always going to be one of them, isn't it? We're hiring the silver on quite rough because we don't need to be overly neat with it being Orks. And we're going to highlight some thing and rust washes over it anyway. Or some streaking grime or something equally as gross over all these metals just to age and distress them a touch. I played a bit of the first one. That got stuck. Yeah, fair. I quite liked the first couple were okay. I used to play on I think it was called the Immortal Empires campaign, which was just like a domination campaign. You just had to wage war and win. But when I picked up Total War Warhammer 3, it didn't have that as a mode to begin with. And the campaign mode, like, for all the story of it was quite cool. Mechanically, I couldn't vibe with it at all. It was like basically had to race through 4 different realms of chaos to collect like shards of a demon or something to release something or other. And it just wasn't very well like signposted what you had to do in those realms. And obviously the AI just know exactly what they need to do even on like easy. So I just found that I couldn't keep pace. Because it was like a lot of time invested to get to that point. It wasn't like you could do, or at least for me, it wasn't like I could sit and do like 2 or 3 games on a weekend and sit and like work it out. And then all the video guides were just like how to cheese it and not how to kind of do it properly, when it wasn't really teaching you that I could find. So it's a bit of a shame. Because Ogres run it for the first time. So I bought it, but then didn't play it till Mortal Empires came out. Yeah, exactly that. Like I say, I bought it on release because you got the Ogres DLC included in there's like a pre-order bonus. And anyone who knows me well knows that I love my Ogres. So that was the main draw for me for that one. And it just kind of fell a little bit flat, unfortunately. Shame. Such is life. That void on there. There. We did have lots of fun, like stomping around the map as Greasiest Goldtooth. That was well cool. Plates on his features. What? And the plan is to keep all the cloth like fairly quite dark and muted. Like I'm gonna do like quite dark browns and like warm brown greys and that sort of thing for a lot of the cloth. Keep the metals quite dark and understated as well. I really want the skin to like pop and be like the draw for the eye for these. Is the idea. Some of these metal deals we'll come back and get like on the cloth as we're doing it. But I'm gonna go take a little break in a second because I need to go to the little boy's room. So I'm gonna pop in the be right back screen and mute my microphone, and I'll be right back. Oh, and we're back. Nice refreshing piss. And we're back on this one. Oh, we're back. Some messages on the phone. Mr. Frazzle coming in. How's it going, my friend? What are you up to this evening? No digging dizzle? Nisgratis as well, coming in late. How goes the wire? The wire's going well. We've painted a load of shit silver. That's about as far as we've been. The Frazzle good. Been busy one tonight, but we're chilling now. What you been up to? Anything exciting? I very much enjoyed the pictures of your sofas. I hadn't realised you've gone for such a exquisite choice in colour. But they look lush. A little bit jealous. We're debuting the new microphone tonight on stream. May or may not, as is tradition on this channel, had some early teething problems with some sound. I need to pick your brains, Mr. Frazzle, about some shit. Probably after the stream. Or maybe it's during, who knows. For some reason, some sound alerts needed manually approving on the sound alert thing, which I fixed. It's been emotional. It's been an emotional night. We changed the camera angle up a little bit, so it's not so much over my shoulder. It's now looking kind of as I look at it again. I'm quite far away, but I'm quite digging it. And the squats sounding good, fucking mint. As long as we're sounding better than we did last stream, I'll take it. Sounds like your music has doubled, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. This is what I wanted to ask you about, because I have my music coming through the music channel in Wavelink, and in OBS, where my desktop audio is, I have that device set to the Wavelink music channel, but it also seems to be coming through my mic channel as well, and I don't understand why that is. Like the little green bars are like matching on the desktop audio and the mic Orks. And when I drop the stream slider from the music channel, people are telling me that it's not changing the volume either. So I think I'm just pointing the music channel at something weird. So if that makes sense to you, that was the question I was going to ask you after the stream. What do you think about Total War? Like overall, I like the games. I think they're really cool. It's really nice to be able to play like old school Warhammer, without needing to build and pay armies for it. Each one's got some like. I can share my OBS stuff with you after if you'd like. Yeah, that would be fucking sweet. Cheers, mate. I'll share the VSTs and my settings as well. I know you're after them as well. We're probably going to drop off probably about 10:30, 11ish, if you're going to still be about then, and you have the time. That would be swell. Is the music still playing on stream, or is it gone now? Still playing. Yeah, so weirdly, like it's showing up in my mic Orks, like way back, not in my wherever it was supposed to be. I just can't get along with tabletop unless it's action on a table. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. I think obviously like being quite into like real-time strategy games anyway. I quite like the battle mode. I think it's quite an interesting spin and quite an interesting take on it, and I like the overall like campaign map idea. It's something a little bit different, but yeah, like I totally get what you're saying about. It's not like a real, like a true representation of tabletop games.
So clean.
Green Pirate 78, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're well. Thanks for swinging on by on your Friday evening. If you're into your model painting and miniature painting or anything, or any hobby, feel free to tell us about it. Love to hear about what you're working on, what you've got planned, all that good shit. Or if you're just here for a chill time, settle on in while we natter away and get some more. Hopefully that follower alert wasn't as hand-shittingly loud as it has been throughout the night. I know I didn't shit myself when I played this time, which is always a bonus. I think my favourite thing about the Total War games, though, going back to them, is prior to ogres being in the game, I played a lot of orcs and a lot of dwarfs, and some of the names that would come up for like the generals and the leaders and stuff, which is fucking hilarious. And I guess actually for all the races, they were pretty funny. And I think they did some really cool mechanics for things like undead to make them like really fundamentally different from like the other races. And I think that's like something that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about very often, is that like every race that you played on Total War played differently and felt different, and really played into how they played on the tabletop, or like how they were supposed to act and play like in the wider lore and stuff like that. So I think they did like a really good job of doing that. Green Pirate, just a bit relaxed time right now. Got the new Ruggle Dawn tank and we'll continue working on it tonight. Nice. Is that the one without that everyone's kicking off? It's got the hollow bottom, like there's no plastic bottom plate on it or something? That one. That looks like, well, all of the new Imperial Guard stuff looks really nice. The new Canadian shock troops are outstanding in my opinion. Someone who likes historical, like World War II war games as well. Seeing like sci-fi infantry that's got a lot of ties back to that kind of like real military kind of vibe and aesthetic was a big plus for me, at least anyway. How have you found the kit to build? It's been a long time, and I don't have that much experience with Games Workshop plastic vehicle kit. I have just built the Sagittar from the Leagues of Votann. Which is really cool. It took like 3 or 4 hours to build, but it was a lush kit to build. I really enjoyed that, so I would hope that the Lehman Russ is just as nice. We do have a Discord on the go as well, Green Pirate. So if you'd like to share some images, what you're working on, please feel free to join there. It's a pretty small community at the moment that was kind of grown out start of this year, but everyone's really really cool, really chill, really sound, really supportive of each other. If you've got anything that you want to be working on and you want to share it, that's the place to go. Links for that are in the thing below. Or you can type !Discord to get the invite link as well. Yes, Soviet doesn't have a full bottom. Yeah, like I kind of get it. You know, it obviously doesn't need it for like structural integrity or anything like that. It does just seem a bit weird to not just put it on, but then I guess maybe that was the difference between it being the number of sprues it is and then having to have either another sprue with just that piece in or it just loose, I guess. And that could have been the difference between it being the price it is now versus maybe an extra 5 or 6 quid. Does at least have bracing, because I can imagine it would get floppy without making it a box. I mean, it's not like the entire bottom half of it's missing. There's just like a plate that's basically missing that for like off the floor, and the way that the Imperial Guard tanks largely get built, as far as I'm aware at least, is that it's a box and then it's like bracketed by the cracks and stuff, right? Great kit, love the model because it works right into my army ski World War I, World War II. Yeah, perfect. And I know I've seen, I don't know whether it was a joke or not, but I'd seen there have been companies now that are releasing releasing the bottom plate is either like a piece of plastic, or I've seen TT Combat did a thing about doing an MDF one that you can just slot in there just for completeness. I guess the nice thing is if it's like hollow in the bottom, if it gets destroyed you can flip it over and stuff it full of like cotton wool and shit to like represent that it's been destroyed and stuff. But I kind of get why it's not to like everyone's taste, though, because it's obviously a bit of a shock to kind of find out. But it also wouldn't surprise me to find out that it was never intended to not have a bottom plate, and it was just missed out, like in QA, when they were designing the sprues. So I think that's a thing as well, I guess, isn't it? Plastic card will fix it. Well, and that's the thing is, though, isn't it? It's like anyone who's got even the least little bit of experience in building these kits, like that won't pose a problem to anyone really. I know that's not like a great excuse, because you could say that for a lot of things, couldn't you? You could say, well, we'll not put sides on them because plastic card, and you could just model it, but I think it's such a minor thing, really. Received paint. I've made a grave mistake with the cream donuts. They are so rich. You may find me a mess in the living room, some kind of cream donut coma. A very inappropriate joke in amongst there somewhere, but I'm not going to go there. Also, the cat may have to jet off there. Right, Charlie tried to steal it. A little balm. Mr. Frazzle knows the crack. Also brings me such joy to see that first icon next to so many people's name. Let's go hard at getting the pin. True facts. So how are we liking the new camera angle? I know I ask this every time, and I can't keep my fucking camera in one place for more than like 2 streams. How are we finding the new angle of the dangle? I'm really liking it. I feel like it's feeling like it's groovy. Oh, the other thing that we bought as well. So a little while ago, rather than having like the plastic black feet that I had down, I bought some like thick. It should become a staple of your stream, a different angle every week. But I think I could deal with the stress of it. I'll be honest. Like I was doing this while Bumba was cooking tea, and I was trying to decide whether to go live or not. I was like, not only did I have like the new mic to set up and make sure that all my sound alerts worked, I was like, you know what, would also be a fucking great idea. Change my camera. What was I saying? Bumba Pants likes the new angle, as does Nesgratis. Yes, so I guess I had some like black paper on the desk, which helps stop the reflection coming back up into the camera sensor. But obviously the problem I found was that like if I spilled something on it, it got fucked. So what I did was I bought a 30-meter roll. LVB Crazy, thanks very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Another soul claimed. We're on a bit of a streak tonight. I'm not quite sure how many followers that is, but I think this is probably the record for the most followers in one stream. So thank you very much for joining in. We're just working on some Orks at the moment, if you haven't been watching very long. Yeah, so I bought like a 30-meter roll of black paper, which I can put down, which not only protects my paint service, also helps with the camera as well. Green Pirate, they could have given another stubber for the turrets, but I've been in this hobby long enough, I've got extra bits that I can make it work. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Like, I always felt that was a bit of a thing with Games Workshop stuff anyway, right? It was like, you know, they could have just put that extra stubber on there. So yeah, you could swap turrets out or like have different weapon options. And sometimes you just need to collect some kits and build some spare parts up to be able to do that. So this is this is the last burner boy. Do the silver on, and then we've got 5 flash kits to do. I was hoping that we'd get a little bit further with this tonight than where we have done. But like I say, we did lose a good chunk of time at the start there trying to diagnose some technical issues. This is definitely getting dubbed the one where everything went wrong. We did have a lot of issues at the start, but we seem to be cooking on gas now. So carry on getting all the silver down. We're using Scale 75's black metal, which is like this really nice kind of oily, kind of bluey silver, which is a big favourite of mine. It'll be crazy. Do you mainly play Orks, or do you also play other races? So I don't actually play 40k at all. This is a commission, so I do part-time commission work. So I'm painting these up for somebody else. I used to be really into the game. Sort of like, well, I sort of like got into 40k when I was like 17, 18, and I'm 34 now. But I've been out of the game probably now for probably about 8 years. So I don't play anything 40k at all. The only games I really play now is Bolt Action, which is a World War II game, and Fallout Wasteland Warfare, which is a skirmish game based off the video game Fallout. I do have plans to try and get back into 40k. I found a gaming club that's fairly local to where I am. It's about an hour away on public transport each way. I do want to dip my toe back into some gaming systems. I've heard very mixed things about the current state of 40k, which makes me a little bit hesitant to get back into it, but I've been looking at things like Kill Team or Necromunda, which is kind of the same universe. I do have an army for Age of Sigmar, which is Ogres. Games Room Mr. Frazzles. Pocket Snooker is the only game I'm playing at your house, mate. Yes, I've got an Ogre army for Age of Sigmar. I do have an army for the Horus Heresy 30k game. I've yet to play a game of it. I only got into it in this edition. So I've got Ultramarines for that, which is kind of in flight. I've done Tactical Squad, one of the special characters, a Command Squad, a Tactical Support Squad, and Dreadnought, and 5 Terminators for them so far. I've still got another 15 Marines to do and 5 Terminators, as well as the Land Raider thing. What about Necrons? So way back when I very first started with 40k, Necrons was my very first 40k army. Back when I was like 17, 18. This was back when they only had the one troop choice, and it was just a little skinny codex. And they only had a handful of units, and basically all you had available to you was Necron warriors, destroyers, and that was pretty much about it in plastic. Everything else was metal. It was metal wraiths, metal flayed ones, metal pariahs, which I don't think are a unit for them anymore now, metal immortals. Heavy destroyers were the destroyer kit with a metal arm. So that was my army, like really like my very first 40k army. I did get was it Indomitus was the box set that they released a couple of years ago maybe. I did get the Necron half of that, and I did paint some of it, but then just kind of fell out of like love for the project, to be honest, because I wasn't playing the game, and then like lockdown hit and I just couldn't be chewed on anymore. So I sold them all. Yeah, like Necrons is a shout. To be honest though, like the direction that they're currently being taken is not really my kind of vibe anymore for what Necrons are in like my personal kind of headcanon. Like they should still be this like low lumbering race that's been like awoken with very limited kind of choices. Like that's what Necrons will be to me. And like some of the new stuff's lovely, it's just not for me kind of personally. I think if I was going to get back into 40k now, I would probably do an army which I've never done before, like historically, which would be maybe Eldar or Dark Eldar, possibly Tau, or I would go with my other love of Warhammer 40k is like the big bad, which is Tyranids, which is also in Nisratas. I don't know if in fact is Nisratas's favorite 40k faction. I did do Tyranids back in the day. I had a creature feature army, which was this should have been back in, I want to say 5th edition 40k. I think my 2,000 point army was a Tyrant Guard. It was a high tyrant with 3 Tyrant Guard, which was all metal miniatures. A Broodlord and a full squad of Bodyguard Gene Stealers, 6 Carnifexes, and 3 units of 8 Gene Stealers or something daft like that. The Great Devourer was your greatest love. Yeah, they were so cool, and they still are really cool. Like a lot of the big monster kits that they've released are great. Always have a soft spot in my heart for them. Or maybe something like Gene Stealer cults could be a shout for me as well. Leagues of Votann kind of interest me a little bit, but I've been building some of them for a commission as well. So it's like a general sort of rule of thumb is I tend not to do things in my personal projects that are currently working on a commission, just because I would get burnt out on doing them. That could be a one to kind of come back to. But if I'm not doing commission work, I found myself more lately doing bigger like sculptures and busts and stuff like that. I'm doing Necrons now, but struggling so hard with the green Tesseract glow paint. It's so watery, and I can't get that nice overlook for the guns and the orb. Oh, even I can remember your Tyranid army. Yeah. Tesseract Glow. So that's the technical paint, which is like the glowy one. Yeah, the only thing I can suggest, I've not used it personally, but just make sure that it's like, shake it with an inch of life, and you've got to like lather it on quite thick, or build it up over multiple coats, because it's effectively what used to be called a glaze paint, which Games Workshop used to do, but it is just a glaze, so it's not as thin as a wash, but not as thick as a paint. So, and the idea is it's designed to just slightly color shift whatever you put it over. So I guess my first question is, what is it you're putting the green Tesseract over? Are you just putting, like, I guess what color is your army? Would be my first port of call to try and figure something out for you. Excuse me, I'm all sniffly. Green Pirate Love Glazes, yeah, me too. Mostly use Scorpion Green. Yeah, so I mean that could be that might be where you're struggling. Because Scorpion Green, if I remember rightly, is quite a bright green colour. So all that Tesseract's Glow is really gonna do for you is make it more green, I guess. What I would probably advise is trying to put it over something like put it over white or really bright silver. Maybe give that a go and see how that turns out for you. But like I said, I can't be 100% sure because I've never used it myself. So I'm only really going off kind of how I understand those paints to work. And like this rest says, like putting it over a lighter base, don't just put it straight over like a black or a metal. It probably won't give you the effect you're looking for. I would probably even hazard that things like Tesseract Glow were the first kind of tests for what would eventually would become contrast paints, I guess. That was always my takeaway, at least anyway. I could be totally wrong. That's what I always thought. Wonder if I could convince Mrs. Bumperpants to come and deliver us a bottle of Dr. Pepper. What do I reckon? Yeah, but the problem is it can't get spread out enough. It's like one big drop all the time. It says anything now I've seen good results putting over pale yellow. Yeah, like you want to put it over something that's bright in the paint itself. I guess if it's coming out too thick and it's all in one, get it onto a palette. Whether it's a plastic palette or a wet palette or palette paper or whatever it is that you're using. If you don't use a palette, you don't have one. An old ceramic plate will work as well. Get it on there and thin it down a little bit with some water or some Larmian medium if you've got it. Larmian medium is good because it'll dilute it without reducing the intensity of the pigment. Without getting super nerdy about how paint's put together, you basically got the medium and then a whole bunch of pigments. Thinning it down with water thins down not only the medium, which is the binder for the paint, but also thins down the pigments as well. So using something like Larmian medium. I use carton. Is that good? I don't know what you mean. Just like cardboard, or is it like carton? Like not sure I follow what carton is. Thick paper. Thick paper is not ideal because it will absorb all the moisture. Just something like a plastic paint palette that you get, you know, like you can pick them up in sort of like discount art stores or discount stores. Like the sweater says, yeah, paper will absorb the water and just leave you with kind of clumpy, messy pigment. It has its uses, probably just not for this one. Piece of plastic, like a CD case or a CD will work. If you've got like an old ceramic plate, that can work. I'm just trying to think what I used to use was like old pallets back in the day. You can get stuff like these, which are just like little metal mixing pallets on Amazon. They're a couple of quid. Yeah, like a plastic tub lid. You know, like those disposable plastic containers you get from like a Chinese or Indian takeaway, something like that will work as well in a pinch. But if you don't have like even just a plastic like inkwell palette, I would really recommend just picking up one of them, just for helping thin down your paints. And then hopefully that should help you use your Tesseract globe a little bit nicer, and get it looking the way that you want it to look, and give you a little bit more happiness and enjoyment from your hobby. What we're all about here. I'm a big fan of a wet palette, which is one of these, which is basically hydrate. LVB crazy coming up with a hydrate. I'm out of Dr. Pepper. Bumper Pants is going to have to bring us through Dr. Pepper. If I say it enough and loud enough, maybe she'll comply. Well, Tuscan 100%. My palette is the cutting mat I cover the table with. Yeah, you know, whatever works. What's just recently started and learned proper water control is huge. Yeah, it's a big, really big part of thinning your paints down. So a wet palette for acrylics, dry palette for metallics and contrasts. I use a wet palette for metallics and contrasts too. Popular to, contrary to popular belief, not popular to contrary belief. That makes no sense. Contrary to popular belief. The only time that using metallics and contrasts in a wet palette will get you in trouble is if you've got too much water in it and it builds over. Oh, Adepto's coming in as well. Well, if Bumper Pants is going to go and get us a Dr. Pepper, I'm going to have to go and get one myself so I can fulfill these hydrates. So I will be right back while I get myself Dr. Pepper. You see. So only after asking 3 times has Bumper Pants got off the settee to get us a Dr. Pepper, as I was already stood up to get one. So we're back. Pepper. Busy saving the galaxy. Fuck the galaxy. You fucking Dr. Pepper. He's a good egg, Mrs. Bumper Pants. She's my wife. Oh, it's so fizzy. Oh, that's hurt going down. Oh, I think that might be in my lungs. Oh, hell. Right, where are we at? Right, so that's the burner boys all metalled, all silvered at least anyway. We've got 5 flash gates to silver up and 2 bomb squigs, so we're gonna mission on. What was that? Nothing. Just seeing how lovely you are. These flash kits have got a lot of metal on them. I probably should have started with these. you can watch the stream back, you know, can you? What happens if I never put the VOD up? And you'll never know. No, I took a swig of Dr. Pepper and it was too bubbly, and it hurted me little chesticles. Oh. Please let Necrons live in peace. They've had a hard time. They've had a rough history, the Necrons, haven't they? I think we'll need a slightly bigger. We'll need a bigger brush. What's that from Jaws? We're gonna need a bigger gun. Is that Jaws? Someone on the chat will know whether that's from Jaws or not. Bigger boat, that's it. Gonna need a bigger wand, Harry. You're a wizard. Nice big brush for a nice big gun. Excuse me. I mean, downside drinking so much fizzy pop as I can stop bourbon. What's the biggest miniature you ever made and painted? So let's have a think. That's a chunky shooter. I've got asked to a glass with ice, Dr. Pepper warm as granted. No, it's fine. The biggest thing I've ever painted isn't really a miniature. Probably. I guess I've got two things. Kind of by comparison, kind of the biggest things I've painted. We might need to zoom out a touch for this one. There we go. So this is the kind of thing that I usually like to paint when I'm not painting armies, is these big sculptures. So this is by a sculptor that I found through another Twitch streamer called Brush for Hire, who also paints this kind of stuff. This is a big alien sculpture by a guy called George Darkis, I think his name's pronounced. He's a Greek sculptor who makes absolutely amazing big pieces. This is covered in sawdust for some reason. I'm so sad I played Space Marine Online by yourself. It's not sad. As long as you're having fun, that's the main thing. Let's get rid of all the dust that's on this. He's a dusty boy. Yeah, so we've got this guy, who's like an alien. This was the very first bust that I ever painted, and I painted on stream when I streamed a little while ago. So we've got this guy, and then just as we were wrapping up the end of last year, we painted another sculpture as well by the same sculptor. This is an infected zombie. Probably zoom in a little bit more on this one. Yeah. That is naughty. I never said I was having fun. That's fair. The detail there, yeah, thanks, man. A lot of it's in the sculpt, I'm not gonna lie. This was lush to work on. So yeah, this is an infected zombie. This is the back of it. And he's got this disgusting big brain at the top. That's Bumper Pants without the coffee. That zombie looks gross in all the best ways. That was what I was hoping for. So yeah, like I went really hard on the blood effects on this one. Tried to really push doing things like directional splatter and like blood trails and stuff. The bit that I'm most proud of is actually the base top itself. Yeah, this plinth. So the idea was originally, when I was planning this out in my head, that the exposed stomach would be bleeding out onto the plinth that held the bust on, and then it would sort of like trickle down kind of over. Like the trickles have come out a little bit thicker than I would like to have. And I can't paint eyes for shit. Yeah, those are like the biggest things that I've ever painted. we've got some things to work on that are about the same kind of size. So anybody who knows me or has been around the channel a lot knows that I'm a big fan of the H.P. Lovecraft stories and the world and the mythos that's around them. So we've got some H.P. Lovecraft like Elder Wands of Gods. I kind of have something like that, but it's sculpt of a clicker from Last of Us, but haven't painted it yet. Ooh, that would be cool. Yes, this is another one that we've got to paint. This is a Nyarlathotep. We've got to paint, and that comes on a nice big base as well. We also have this lovely big Cthulhu to paint as well. Sat on my desk because I was testing out different camera angles before. This is a nice big boy. The plan for these two actually is they're going to become greater demons for a chaos army that I'm planning, sort of. Going to be filled full of chaos demons and cultists and all the like. We've got those two to paint. Now just imagine Risky Pants at the top of the stairs yelling, "You shall not pass." The best person got me those two models. We also have this absolute fucking beast. I don't even think we have to zoom out again. This is a troll bust. So to give some kind of context for size on this, this is about 3 inches bigger than the alien, and also has a base with it. I'm super excited to paint this a little bit later in the year, when we're sort of done with some commissions and stuff. This was bought for me by my wonderful sister-in-law, who's in the chat sometimes. Reith, Carelu155 in there she is. Scotland about, in a minute. So yeah, to answer your question, those are some of the biggest things I've ever painted, and probably ever will paint, because anything bigger than that's going to be a bit obscene. Back in a bit, so we can see what's going on. Was that the High Priest Cthulhu in Yog-Sothoth? So yeah, it was Cthulhu. That was like the Elder God Cthulhu. And the tentacle one is a elder god called Nyarlathotep. Goes by many names. The Crawling Chaos. Nyarlathotep is my favorite like Cthulhu elder god, because his whole thing is about messing with humanity. He's like the most active in interfering in the affairs of humanity. So he has many what is called masks that operate in the world, and they all take under different guises and different names, but they all kind of act under his kind of banner. I'm trying not to say it too much because I'm also running at the moment, for some people who are also in the chat, a tabletop role-playing game using a system called a Cthulhu called the Masks of Nyarlathotep. So I don't want to talk about it too much because a lot of the lore about him is a little bit relevant to the game. But yes, having a lot of fun running the Masks of Nyarlathotep game. The Death So Loves Cthulhu. Yeah, big fan of the like the short stories. Not so much, obviously the man himself is a little bit controversial in the modern times, but his work is I'm a big fan of. And the worlds that he's built and kind of what's going to come off the back of it, I think is great. No, please don't let us stop you. Please continue with the Nyarlathotep lore. Yeah, keep explaining the lore for others. 2 seconds while I ban Nisk Ratis and Mrs. Bummerpants from the chat. They represent 1/3 of my player base for that game. So we're going to ban them from the chat, and then we'll continue talking about my other thought. I think it's supposed to be like a metal color. I'll have to Google it. All hail Cthulhu. You're a boy. They say not one human can speak their real names. That is indeed true. Depto, big fan of Cthulhu as well. Yeah, there's a which can't handle the truth of the universe. Very true. I'm just having to Google these flash gates to try and work out what these things are. So these came to me kind of like all kind of built and primed. So I'm not entirely certain what a lot of this stuff is. Oh, it's not now. I was tempted to get some D&D Cthulhu dice when I saw they were £100. Oh, damn. I got some Cthulhu themed, like a polyhedral set. Not Christmas Gone, the Christmas before. From the company who make the role-playing game. And they weren't £100. Your stuff, your dark side. Not Twitch friendly. Can I go there? I mean, Cthulhu doesn't really do a lot. He's too busy sleeping in his house in Ryle. Yes. Yeah, he's a sleepy boy. Is Cthulhu. Big fan of a nana, much like myself. What shader is on the Ork? So I don't use a lot of washes and shades usually, because I don't like the lack of control that they gave me. So the way that I do these Orks, I also don't use a lot of Games Workshop paints as well, just to forewarn you. I use scale 75 stuff, but there are things, equivalent ones in the Games Workshop range. So this forms the primary base coat of the Ork. So it is Slimer green. It's like old school Games Workshop Goblin green. Not quite sure what the current version would be. And then it gets highlighted the just a straight Toxic Waste green from Fantasy Games, which is like a really high yellowy kind of green color. We then come in with like a really kind of reddish, brownish kind of flesh tone. And we make a glaze of that, and that gets glazed into all the recesses, so all the kind of joints between the muscles and like the mouth, the eye sockets and the hands and all that sort of stuff. Once all that's fully dried, we then come in with a Thonian camo shade, which I believe you can still get. This is the old version of the wash, not the new version of the wash. And I've almost run out, which is a shame, but this is just a greeny brown wash. I've got another one from Army Painter called Military Shader, which I think will probably do the same. This gets mixed 50-50 with some matte medium, which is basically the same as Lamian medium from Games Workshop. It's just a medium. And again, the reason we use a medium and not water is because it dilutes the entire paint, but still keeps the kind of the saturation, I guess. It also helps because these paints are a slightly satin finish to them. This helps just take the shine off them as well and gives them a nice matte coat. Then once we are done with that, we then come in with super bright toxic livery green from Vallejo Game Color, and we just pick out all of the little highlights and edges and stuff like that. So to answer your question, Gunyan Camera Shade is the shader that we use on the Orks, but to get the full effect, that's kind of like the full recipe and kind of walkthrough for it. Definitely not audible. Where was the HP Lover stuff that had proper sound effect? Oh, was it like an audio drama? What am I thinking of? I'm gonna say ebook there, but that's not right, is it? Like an audiobook type thing. Spotify maybe? There's a couple of like different channels on there that have done look like Lovecraftian stuff. We're going to do all these casings in the brass colour so we can leave them. This is all going to be cloth, that's going to be cloth, that's cloth. This is all going to be brass, that's going to be bone. Left black, just like spike things on his arm now. Two. Right, one flash get down. LVB crazy. All right, thank you for the nice chat and tips. This one's going to sleep and hope to see you soon. No worries, man. It's been really nice to have you, and then thanks again for the follow. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, from about 7, and we've been doing Friday, sometimes a weekend as well. So hopefully catch you again. Obviously, you can join the Discord as well to get the going live alert. Yeah, it's been lovely having you in. Thanks, man. Getting on. Probably finish this flash kit and then post it up for the night. Find a nice raid target. Go and spread the love. If anybody has any recommendations for anyone who's live, I'm more than happy to take suggestions. This is Bumper Pants. Team Stretch, LVB. Thank you. Sure, I'll be there. Night. Good night. Have a lush weekend while I do my stretch. Oh. Yeah. Metal, probably just come back and do that with a bronze. Pray for me fighting the Leviathan with only a plasma gun. You'll be alright. Spin its jaw. Bronze. Cloth. Whole bunch of stuff in the medium bit there, but we're not going to be able to get to a lot of this. This is kind of the problem that we've got, because we got them built. There's like loads of details like in the chest that we're just not going to be able to get to. So I think we're just going to have to sort of like settle for when we come to do those, just sort of trying to accent them a little bit to kind of show off at the fact that they're there. But we're not going to spend a whole bunch of time trying to get them done perfectly. Righty-ho. Cool beans. Right, we're going to probably wrap it there. We've still got 3 flash kits to get all the silver done, but we'll get that done over the weekend probably. So yeah, we're going to switch over to our which is a nice little slideshow of all my different social media accounts and all that jazzle. So if you haven't already, if you're watching and you haven't followed and you like what you've seen, give that little follow button a bash, just so you know when we're going to go live again. We have a Discord, which you can find on !Discord, which is just in the bit there below. We've got a website, we've got a merch store, we've got a whole bunch of stuff on the go. Thank you, Nisgratis, for sharing that link. currently trying to grow out the Discord quite a bit, as well as Instagram. So those are the two we can go over and have a look at. Just trying to find someone to give a little raid to. Right, we've found a guy called Tuppy the Ducky, who has some viewers. We're going to go and check him out. Let's get Ducky. Let's see what.
I also Swiss cheesed it significantly so I could pull out all the supports. So yeah, we get to have the fun of painting it all over again.
Yeah, he looks like he's painting some 3D printed vehicles. So let's go check him out. Slash raid, Tuppy the Ducky. He also has a class name. Yes, so probably no stream over the weekend. The next time I'll catch all you lovely folk will be on Monday, 7 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. If I don't chat to you in the Discord beforehand, have a lush weekend. Thank you very much for everyone who's followed. It's been a crazy night for new followers. It's been lush, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.
Hey Risky Paints, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in everyone. How are you all doing? Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you for follow, Mrs. Bumberpants. It's a great username. Welcome on in, everyone. So, yeah, today's a really good day. So we've only just started. Well, I say started, for half an hour. But we're going to be working on some Death Guard for Horus Heresy. Just trying to decide whether or not we're going to be working on painting more of the tanks or more of the infantry. So the plan is to get all of them looking somewhat infantry-wise, looking more like this. All grimy and dirty and gross. Very Death